Şimdi de sırada Content is the King. İçerik, iletişim ve medya dünyasında krallığını sürdürüyor. Son yıllardaki gelişimiyle dünyanın bir numaralı içerik platformu haline gelen YouTube sporu nasıl kullanıyor? YouTube içerik işbirlikleri lideri Timur Altop bu konuda merak edilenleri ve yeni gelişmeleri anlatmak üzere karşınızda.
Thank you very much, Ahmed Bey, Emir Bey, and the rest of the sports team, team at Sportsnet Group. And a big thank you all here today for making this event what it is, listening to the stories we all have to tell. I'll start with sharing a little about who I am, what I do. I'm Timur Altop. I've been part of YouTube for the past 2 years. In my current role, me and my team are the interface between YouTube and the greater content marketing, including sports industry in Turkey. Our core mission specifically with sports is to partner with sports federations, leagues, clubs, broadcasters, athletes, and native creators to help them get the most out of the platform. In doing so, we serve the hundreds of millions of sports fans who come to the platform each month to watch the sport that they love, whether that be live sporting action, post-game highlights, or creative stories about the sport. So this, next slide. Yes, okay. So this was my introduction to football in Turkey. I came here, my parents are Turkish. I was born in America. I moved back to Turkey in 1996. And when I came, my parents had an apartment in Göteborg, and I walked into the apartment and was by myself. I could hardly speak Turkish. I didn't know the country that well, the city that well. I walk in, and I hear this crazy party celebration going on outside. And there's flares and people shooting their guns off, and someone's going, I thought there was like some sort of terrorist attack or something going on. And lo and behold, I think Fenerbahce that year, or Galatasaray, won the championships. This is my introduction to sports in Turkey. So for me, next slide. For me, there's nothing more empowering than what modern digital technology has done to bring sports closer to the fans who love it. Growing up in the US, I became a huge American football fan, always eager to follow my favorite team. The way I followed football then is very different to how young fans follow it today. Back then, broadband internet didn't exist, and we didn't have Digiturk at home. For me, following a big game across the weekend meant 3 things. First, who remembers this? Yeah, teletext. So firing up on your TV through your remote control, reading through the lineups, short manager quotes, the occasional prediction before the kickoff. That was fun, right? Or for me, it was ESPN. Here you have League TV FM. So tuning into the game coverage on ESPN Live, listen to the commentary, and imagining a picture of how the game was unfolding, but usually often incorrectly. Or 3, waking up on Sunday morning, and this is for Turkish market, to pore over the back pages of newspaper and seeing the players' ratings, and that then was fandom. This, of course, has all changed. Football fans now watch as much football content on YouTube as they watch on television. The scales are tipping. People living anywhere in the world with internet connection, that's over 4 billion people, can be a fan of whatever sport that they like. They can watch videos on whatever device they like, at any time they like, helping them keep up with their favorite team. What a difference just 2 decades make. This rapid pace of change is fascinating. Important to everyone in this room today, the sports industry is changing and growing. So I'll spend the next 15 minutes exploring 2 areas of how YouTube is evolving and what's driving this change. 1, how sports consumption is growing on the platform, creating opportunities for sports rights holders and broadcasters such as yourselves. And 2, how our partners can commercialize their properties. So YouTube is where the world chooses to watch and remains the #1 destination for video online. 1.9 billion people users come to the platform every month to watch video. And when you count those who haven't logged in, that number jumps to 2 billion. That's about half of the world's population with an internet connection. Those users are watching over 1 billion hours of video every day. YouTube is the 2nd largest search engine in the world and the 2nd most visited website in the world, all after behind Google. And over 480 hours of video are uploaded to YouTube every minute. So audiences come to YouTube with the intent to watch, not to scroll. Watch time is therefore a key metric we focus on when developing our product and measuring success. How many minutes, hours, days are users coming to watch video for? We believe this is a much more meaningful metric for judging engagement than views, as it shows just how long people are engaging with the content they find. It's hardly a surprise that more than half of those users are watching on mobile devices. And these are not people just watching the occasional video at a bus stop. They're staying engaged for a long period of time. The average session length on a mobile device, that's from when the moment they open the application to when and start watching a video to when they close it, is over 60 minutes. That may be surprising. If there's one thing you could take away from my presentation is that YouTube is truly a video destination. And because of this shift to digital platforms for watching video, watch time on our platform is growing at an astounding pace for our platform, which is already very vast. For sports content specifically, watch time has grown 61% in the past year, far outpacing the growth of the platform. That's faster than music, entertainment, endemic creation. That's the biggest growth on the platform. According to Timur Labs' 2017 growth study of football, when it comes to football viewership, YouTube is twice as big as the next biggest social platform and growing at almost twice as fast. And within that, viewership of highlights content is driving much of this growth, with watch time of sports highlights growing 80% year on year. Studies show that, especially on younger audiences, highlights are the new premium. We are fighting shorter attention spans. Young people's double-speed podcasts, audiobooks, they seek life hacks, consume written media via short blogs or tweets. Highlights are essentially the new live. We talk a lot about this idea that 50 years ago, reach was scarce, but attention was plentiful. There were limited options for everyone to watch, that everyone watched. Today, reach is plentiful, but attention is scarce. We all have a multiple of options to turn to consume content. Young fans demand condensed options when it suits them. 65% of sports fans now consume sports in more ways than they did 5 years ago. A recent McKinsey study showed that many young fans are more ready to drop off live games sooner if the games are lopsided or concluded early. Fans can now follow sports from the other side of the world, but can't always tune in live because of time zone lags. That's especially for me because I watch the NFL, and I have to wake up at like 3 o'clock in the morning to watch my favorite team playing. Digestible highlights packages provide a quick and easy way for fans to catch up on the time that they have. Indeed, highlights are a key part of our ecosystem. YouTube is, again, like I said, the second largest search engine behind Google. When we analyze what it is sports fans are searching for, it's predominantly highlights from major sports events. 60% of sports fans say our platform is one of the first places they go to after watching a major sporting event. It's a quick sizzle reel.
Switches to Russia for the FIFA World Cup. It's another great throw. What a goal that is! Here is Marcelo through in the box, waiting for the cross, and it was down with a fabulous finish. A little bit of space. Oh, he's going to go for goal and scores another super goal.
So when it comes to highlights, YouTube's offering is second to none. Thanks to our partnerships with right holders and broadcasters, we can offer fans high-quality highlights soon after they happened. This year alone, we've engaged their fans with highlights from across the sporting world, including Wimbledon, Ryder Cup, Tour de France, the Winter Olympics, Rugby Six Nations, the NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, UFC, boxing, Formula One, to name a few. And this is where we show how we partner with the industry and broadcasters rather than competing with them. Take this summer's FIFA World Cup, for example. World Cup content generated over 5 billion views during the tournament. Both FIFA and 34 of their broadcasters globally covering 100 markets uploaded highlights of their matches to their channels within minutes of the final whistle. And we featured that content prominently where fans searching for World Cup terms within Google search and YouTube search, including a link to broadcasters' websites where fans could go and watch the live matches, generating over 100 million clicks to the broadcasters' websites. By hosting highlights on their channels, sports federations and broadcasters can ultimately drive viewership of their live offering. And this is interesting. Fans who consume over 30 minutes per day of sports highlights are 3 times as likely to subscribe to sports over-the-top services as fans who do not. So this is, I just wanted to check real quickly. Hagi was one of my favorite footballers in Turkey, and I wanted to see what came up from here. And I was really curious. So I put his name into the search, and this is what came up. And the next slide. And then I couldn't believe how many years ago this is continuous. So 4 million views 6 years ago, 1.4 million views 6 years ago. And then there was something here 11 months ago at 600,000 views. These are all highlights from Hagi. YouTube is a nostalgic platform, a time portal. It's all about the long tail and having a place to go to find this content. This content gives broadcasters a second chance to earn money and fans to connect to their content. And fans can not only watch this action from the past week, but from the last 10, 20, 50 years ago as well. Because sports fans upload archive content for fans to find. I'm not alone. 75% of our users aged 35 to 54 watch videos that relate to the past events or people. So beyond highlights, growth is stemming from our live content as well. YouTube's original motto is broadcast yourself. Any partner can now go live. Our product supports live quality streaming with low latency, up to 4K and 60 frames per second, with the ability to geo-restrict streams where necessary.
BT Sport changed the game in 2016, streaming the UEFA Champions League final on YouTube for the first time. 3 years in, this partnership has gone from strength to strength, delivering in 2018 the biggest sports live stream ever. Through YouTube, BT Sport talks to millennial football fans who love the UEFA Champions League. 25% of viewers of the finals were 13 to 24, and they stayed with the stream for an incredible average of 36 minutes. That's 70% up year on year. Audience behavior shapes and refines BT's marketing strategy as it builds relationships with tomorrow's subscribers. Whether on mobile apps or through smart TVs, YouTube is a showcase for BT Sport's stunning 360-degree video technology.
A superb piece of kit. What an experience.
Allowing BT's young football audience to be there at the heart of sport.
So for the past 3 years, BT has hosted sports' biggest annual event, the Champions League Final, live on YouTube in the UK, and that's going to continue for the next 3 years. The viewing figures have grown impressively. In 2016, the finals attracted 3 million views. By this year's final, the number was close to 7 million, with each view an average of 36 minutes long. But it's not just BT Sport. In September, the Olympic Channel streamed the Youth Olympic Games from Buenos Aires globally. Just last month, League One in France broadcast PSG versus Monaco game in markets with unsold rights, such as Brazil. It can also be smaller or more niche sports who are looking to aggregate a global audience by streaming their content live. So who knows this sport? This is, it's paddle. This is a hugely popular sport in Spain, and they're using our platform to stream matches live and grow a new audience. Smaller sports, women's, youth tournaments can all gather huge viewership, aggregate viewership around the world. In fact, live viewership on this platform is doubling each year, fueled by our partners. And fans can enjoy a big screen experience when watching live sports by casting technology or the YouTube application on smart televisions or game consoles. Today, over 15% of global viewing for YouTube is now through a television. It's the fastest growing device for consumption for content, YouTube, growing by over 112% year over year. And for live sports content events, the television is often the majority of the traffic. In the case of the BT Sports Championship League's live stream, over half of the viewership came from the big screen. When it comes to premium sports video content, whether it's catch-up, archive, or live, YouTube has been the online platform of choice for sports rights holders, holding partners in 2018, driving immense watch time growth globally. So I said I'll talk about sports, how sports is growing on the platform, but how it can also be commercialized. So how can partners drive revenue from YouTube from the platform? One of the major reasons sports organizations are choosing us to host their content is because of the commercial benefits it brings them, both directly in the form of channel revenue and indirectly from the growth in media value it brings their property with sponsors by having a large, young, engaged global audience. Increasingly, brands are pressuring rights holders to grow a digital presence, and YouTube is just part of that. The main way partners are monetizing their content on our platform is through advertising. Today, the business model has been very simple. Any approved partner can make money. I can make money from my own channel. I upload content by enabling ad formats. I take the majority of the ad revenue generated. By enabling monetization, Google advertising partners can place ads against their content. These ads come in a variety of formats. Stay here, yeah. So pre-roll ads, these can be skippable or non-skippable. Everyone knows this. Everyone chooses probably to skip. This is an example of a skippable ad that can be any length. They run before a piece of content starts. I go to watch a Serie A highlights. I click on pre-roll ones after my Serie A content begins. These can appear also in the middle of the video. This is called a mid-roll ad. If you own your content globally, YouTube can give you a window to the global market as well. Display ads, these appear over the top. There we go. Over the top of or alongside content as static images. Here's an example of RBS, where they had 100% share of voice sponsorship, so run of sight, for the Rugby Six Nations sponsoring content on YouTube. So we're innovating on these formats every year to balance user interest and advertiser demands while growing partner revenues. And here's an example of Rolex doing the same thing with Wimbledon. Again, they did run of sites. Through AdSense, our proprietary partner payment solution, channels are paid the majority of advertising revenue generated against their channel. We have paid out over $2 billion to rights holders. The number of channels earning over 6 figures or more grew 40% in the past year. And top sporting channels such as BT Sport and Wimbledon can attract CPMs of $30 to $40. Increasingly, we're giving channels more control over the ads that appear against their videos, particularly in the sports world, where rights holders have sensitive relationships with key sponsors. We want to ensure our partners feel comfortable enabling their ads. So that's why we introduced a blacklist functionality within AdSense. Partners can block specific advertisers or categories of advertisers through a simple interface, meaning they hold control over which ads show and which ones don't. But as we grow, we've recognized the need for alternative commercialization models. Beyond advertising, I'm delighted to showcase some of these to you, and this chart here shows all the new commercial features that have launched since 2005. The ones in red are actually ad products, and the ones in blue are non-ad products. As you can see, we're diversifying the commercial options available to partners. Just to give you an idea, ticketing, next slide, is a huge revenue stream for sports partners. And this year, we have launched the ability for fans to buy tickets directly within the YouTube application underneath videos. This is a US-only functionality right now, but we'll be rolling this out in 2019. Merchandising. Similar, we have this product where it allows you to buy sports kits directly from the app. Creators and partners can list their offerings via stores and sell to fans directly. And Super Chat. Does anyone remember the April the Giraffe live video? This raised huge money for April the Giraffe when she was having birth to her baby giraffe. And for live videos, we've launched this product called Super Chat. Who's heard of this? This allows users to pay a fee to have their content featured prominently next to a live video, with partners retaining the lion's share of that fee. And I've seen in some cases where people are actually paying about $500 so that their chat can appear at the top of the. It's a little crazy, but it happens. So these are just some of the ways partners can monetize through YouTube directly. More indirectly, we hear from many partners that they can commercialize their property by hosting branded content on their channels, and partners get to keep 100% of this revenue. And more broadly, many partners seek a long-term commercial play with their YouTube presence, engaging a younger global community to boost their audiences and attract higher sponsorship deals or grow their brand. And here's an example of UEFA. This is UEFA's channel, and this is Adidas doing a video of how the football is made during the Champions League final. For broadcasters such as BT Sport in the UK, they can successfully boost their paid subscribers numbers by using YouTube as a shop window for their paid TV offering. Through Google's advertising remarketing solutions, BT Sport collected audience data on all the football fans in the UK who turned into their channel to watch UEFA Championship highlights and live game. This remarketing data allows BT to follow up with fans, offer them tailor-made paid TV subscription offers. By being more targeted, BT have been able to effectively target in-market customers increasing their return on marketing investment by 170% and reducing cost per acquisition by 60%. So in summary, YouTube can now offer sports organizations and broadcasters a host of ways to monetize their content they upload, and there's no one-size-fits-all. The platform offers a range of options and is multifaceted. While advertising revenue remains a huge source of this, the future will see many more alternative ways for partners to commercialize their channels. That's it. That's us. I hope this was inspiring to you. We looked at how sports ecosystem is growing on YouTube at phenomenal rates and how partners can commercialize this audience. And YouTube remains the largest destination for sports online video, and it's growing and evolving at an incredible pace. My advice to you is to lean in, not get left behind in this revolution. Follow your audience and where they're going. And study what your fans want. Let them consume your content on their own terms. And finally, I'd like to thank you and our partners in this room for making the platform what it is today. Without premium sports organizations like yourselves hosting your content on your channels, YouTube would not be the home of sport of what it is today. Thank you very much.